Welcome back to the channel. We're here at the end of January. I've got the old stove going and we've got the snow moved out of the way. We had the little problem here with the New Holland. I parked outside and I did not put the diesel anti-gel in the fuel, and that's a mistake, guys. So when it's down in the 30s or 20s, it's usually okay, but we get into teens and near zero and this tractor freezes up. The float bowl, sediment bowl, is also kind of like a water separator. It's not a separate water separator. I wish it was. I can just like turn a little petcock and let it drain, and do that like once a week or every time I go to use it. And so it froze in the bowl. It started and ran with the fuel in the lines, and then of course the float bowl was frozen. We got that repaired. We took it in, thawed it out, and we got the tractor back in service. I went and plowed, finished up plowing. We had about 5 inches of snow total in this area, 4 in the driveway. I got that pretty much cleared up. We got a nice little pile going on over here. See, this is nice and hard underneath this. I got crusher run. We got a nice little pile going on over here and over there and over there and everywhere. We can see our stove is going in the garage. It's nice and toasty in there. It's about 70. And very little snow melting on the roof. The only thing I've noticed on that is right along that steel I-beam. And it makes sense. The steel I-beam is over the center, approximately the center of the door, and that supports the roof. Is the drywall goes up and butts the beam on both sides. The insulation goes over top of the beam because it's in the floor joist, but there's probably a little bit of air loss right there along the side of each drywall section. So I think I'm gonna seal that up with some spray foam, trim it off, make it look nice, and paint it. Nobody will see it. So I think that's heat loss, but that's working out good in the garage. You can see all of our firewood out here starting to get snow on it, and that'll tie us over, and the rest of it we'll put in the shed once we got it used up over there. We've got about, I think it's close to 5 face cord left in there, and so we got plenty for the season if we use it like this. But as I said in the past video, we've got a rain situation coming up. We're gonna get up into the 40s. Ooh, a nice, look at chickadee just went by me. But the temperature is going to get up a little bit warm in the 40s. We're going to get rain, and then it's going to cool down at night. So we're going to have a driveway situation that's going to be unbearable. I've got the truck that's 4-wheel drive. I got the car that's all-wheel drive. But Dawson went bowling with his friend yesterday with a front-wheel drive. He couldn't get up the driveway. And, I'm worried about that. I don't want him to dent in his car down there. So we're going to put sand on the driveway. And what that's going to do is when the sun does come out, you get that solar action where it melts off quick. But also it's going to be on the base after I plowed. And if it snows on top of it, when we go to plow, it's going to, basically stay on the drive. So we're going to plaster that with sand. I usually have to do this 2, 3, 4 times during the season. And then what I noticed this morning, get off track a little bit, is out here in the woods, we had that windstorm come through. And we got a broken off, looks like a hemlock here, right up in the air. That's not good. And this is kind of our trail coming through here with a 4-wheeler. So that's going to be one of our next projects. It looks like it's broken off about 5 feet up, snapped right off. Check that out. And it's about a, gosh, it's got to be 75 footer, and it's about a 16-inch base. I'm not sure. That's going to be unsafe to cut that there because it's going to come crashing. We do have a nice open area here that we can topple it, so I might be hooking straps on that, tugging with a tractor, or maybe Dawson tugging with a tractor, and I cut that. It could be a little dangerous, but it's a shame it's not a hardwood so we can burn it, but I probably will dry it out and use it for camp wood or something. We need camp wood. So back to our project. Let me show you what we got going on. Now right here where Dawson has this little storage building is where I used to dump my sand. I'd go down and get a dump trailer load of mason sand, if you want to call it that. It's construction sand. It's really cheap. I'd get about 2-3 yards, dump it there, and I'd cover it with a tarp. And then after I plow, I'd lift the tarp up and scoop into it. But usually you get in January, early February, and it's like, you know, down in 0, and it freezes solid. And I can't break it up. I don't have the backhoe on to pound on it, so, you know, I scrape it with a bucket and get what I can, and it ends up being all chunky, lumpy, and, you know, next time I snow blow, I'm throwing rocks, you know, solid sand. And so that didn't work. And I thought of the next plan is taking something like our woodshed there with a pressure treated deck on it and dump my sand on that and have a little house for it so I can drive in. I don't know if I want to spend, I don't know, $1,000 anyway. Even on used material, sometimes it's too much work and expense to do the sand. So let me show you what we come up with. So we're over here in another shed. I've got 55-gallon barrels. They're a little beat up, you can tell. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in here anyway. And I've already used one, and then I had some 5-gallon buckets. I think I had 10 5-gallon buckets. I took these barrels over. I got them from my brother. I set them next to the pile of sand, and it was in the months of, say, I don't know if it was like July. It was really dry out. And check this stuff out. This is nice and dry. Got little tiny stones in it. It's perfect for traction. I started scooping out of this one with a shovel, but it's a little much work. I put these in here, and they've been dry since. And I would like to have a storage area where I can, you know, scoop underneath it with a bucket, put a strap around it, lift a whole barrel up, and go down the drive. I haven't come up with a system for that yet. The other day, I used 5-gallon buckets. I used 4 of them to do the 400 feet. So it's about 5 gallons of sand for every 100 feet of the lower driveway. And that's sprinkled around like here, chick, chick kind of thing. You throw it around. One of these barrels is way more than I need. This barrel is about half. And I'm thinking of just hooking a strap on this because it's right on the ground here and drag it out. And that's the plan, guys. But I need to keep my sand dry, and it's definitely dry. I don't like taking up the real estate in here because I got other things I want to put in here. I bought some rock salt from a company that was going out. I got like $4 a bag or $5 a bag. I got a bunch of them. We can mix that in if we need it. You know, it's a good price on it, but I'm more worried about the sand. So I'm going to hook a, you know, one of the 30-foot tow straps on here with a tractor and drag it right out of the building. So let's see if we can tow this thing out of here, see what happens. They're pretty heavy. Almost got it. I got to readjust here, but this should work pretty good. You just got to keep your strap down low. So that worked great. Just keep your strap down low and drag it right out. It's about 55-gallon barrel. It's about a little over half full. I've shoveled sand with a round pointed shovel. I don't know, 20 plus pounds per shovel, and you tell me what the weight of that is. 25, it's probably around 25-30 gallons of sand. Now we just got to get the sand into the bucket. I'm not concerned about a little dab of snow in there because, like I said, it's going to be warming up, and I'll show you how we grade the driveway. But I'm going to try to just tip it over. The barrels are already bent up, banged up, so I'm not concerned about that. And if it gets dumped on the ground here, I don't care because I can scoop it up with the tractor. Very little labor involved. But let's see if we can get this thing over. Yeah. Keep on too close to it. about perfect. I'm not sure I can even get it in a bucket this way, but like I said, I usually shovel it. I'm trying to cut the labor down. Now, if I was young, Buck, I could lift that right up and dump it, right? So I think we're just going to dump it on the ground. I'm not going to be able to lift this. So we're going to dump it over and we're going to see how dry it is. So just, you can't do that. You probably could do this if you had a paved driveway. I'm paved over there. This is Crusher Run. There's some weeds growing up in it over the years, but dump the sand out here on a day you want to use it. Crash into it, drag back, scoop that a couple times. Let me show you what I do with it. So this has a little bit of a grade to it, but it's not bad. What I worry about is the last 250 feet down here. Pretty steep. You can see the grade dropping right off here. This is where everybody gets stuck. I get a fuel oil delivery or a propane delivery, and you know, even the mail drops and packages, they can't get up this driveway. So this is why we got to do this. I just raise this up so I can see. It will get dusty, but watch what I do with it. I just start sprinkling. Just keep the tractor moving. Probably why our air filter gets dirty often, right? That's my automatic sander. You don't even have to get out. Now a couple spots. There, we scooped up the last of this barrel. Got another about a half a bucket. And one more thing I wanted to tell you is this dump trailer is a 6.5 by 12. It's a 12,000 pound. The sidewalls are about 3 feet. We got 16-inch tires, and I believe they're 10 or 12 ply. It's a 4,400 pound trailer empty. And you know, it sounds good to go down and get my sand this time of year, but Can you go down there this time of year? Because you go down the driveway without the brakes on by shutting the controller off on the truck, that trailer's pushing you right out this driveway. The second thing is, if I go ahead and put the brakes on, the trailer skids out of the driveway. I have no control of it. It is very sensitive to get it exact on a slippery road. And then the next thing is, okay, I go down and get 2 or 3 yards. That's really heavy, 2,200 pounds a yard probably. So I'm coming back with a 10,000 pound trailer trying to get up that driveway. So you have to think way ahead of time about this sand. You need to get it in the summer months. If you wait till the fall, you can get in off the road maybe, but you can't park there because the trailer has no parking brake. You can't leave it there on that slope. So you have to try to back up the driveway so the truck will be in the road while cars are going by, and then I got to hand spread it, and then I got to pull back out and then try to drive up in. I've tried that and it's like scary. So this is what this project is about, is think ahead. Everything's think ahead anymore. Safety. And let's go spread the rest of the sand. Check out all the deer track. They're getting hungry. They're coming in eating on the small trees and things. Tracks all over here. They're showing up on the cameras at night. Pretty cool. So that's what we've just spread. And we have really good traction, and the sun is just coming across these trees here. So when that hits it this afternoon, this is going to be bare because that's going to heat right up. Let's take the rest of this and we'll put it down through here, and this should finish this up. I'm not going to worry about spreading it off to the very sides because the snow plow will catch some of that and push it over, and then the cars and foot traffic will do the same. So let's see if we can just continue this. Then what I do is I just back up, set my blade, my bucket flat, and just skim it. So let me show you the back side here. See how nice the traction we get now? Now we can get up around the curb. I'd almost be able to tow a trailer down out of there now. But I'm going to run up this a couple times, make sure that spreads up, breaks up nice and small, once or twice, and be done with this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.